Welcome back to Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2024. Last time we got all the way to February 2nd now, and our record is 19-31 in the first 50 games, which is not great. Ended the last video looking at a possible trade. I did do some research off camera. I did find one interesting trade possibility that I want to show, and I'll kind of go over why I make the decision on whether or not I'm going to pull the trigger on that. I really did search. I tried to think of trading Sonny because he had been causing problems, but no other teams wanted that player. So I kind of wanted to look into trading Colin Richardson, which, if you remember, is our seventh man. He's kind of like our third big man because we've got between McCreary and Bennett, we've already got two bigs that can do what we need in the post and in the paint, offensively and defensively, for the most part. So we could trade Richardson. He's probably our best piece that we could give up. And looking at the offers for Richardson, there was one that stuck out. I'll show you right now. Go back into trade players, and the one that I saw that I found interesting, if I can find him here, he is Colin Richardson. You know, he's a 3-star player, potential 4-star player. He's only averaging 6 points a game for us, but it's mostly because he's not. He's averaging 20 minutes a game, so that's why for the most part, why he's only playing like less than half the game. So that's one reason why his numbers aren't this high, because we don't really need him that bad. He's a great player, but we have better players in that position with Bennett and with McCreary. So we're going to put Richardson up for trade here, and I'll show you the one trade I found interesting was with the Detroit Gears. And they wanted to give up their first round draft pick, which would be a pretty good pick, and also point guard Ben Turner. And if you remember, our guard play has been poor. So Ben Turner would help our guard play. He's a 2.5-star player, averages 8.7 points per game, 5 assists a game. So he's a better point guard than any of the point guards we currently have. He's better than Paul Lopez, who's a 2-star point guard, which is who we're currently using when everybody's healthy. So this does help us get a better guard. It also gives us another draft pick. And Detroit is not that good. So this could potentially be a pretty good pick. The only problems with this is Ben Turner, for one thing, his contract, if you look at his contract right here, he's only got a 1-year contract. So he could sign with us for the rest of the season and then decide to to go somewhere else in the offseason. He could even come back to Detroit if they can afford him, if he wants to. So we really don't have Ben Turner locked up in position as a guaranteed player farther than the last half of this regular season. So I'm not crazy about that. Also, if you remember, Detroit is in the East, and it's easier to make the playoffs in the East in this league so far. If you look at the conference standings in the East, Detroit's actually projected to make the playoffs right now, which means this pick could still be decent. The first round draft pick they're offering, see, they're projected to make it right now, and they're at least projected to be into the play-in games. I mean, you never know; they could get into the play-in games and win, and then that pick wouldn't be a lottery pick. It might be, you're looking at that pick from Detroit being anywhere from like the 13th to the 18th pick, depending on uh, what happens with the playoff situation. So, do we really want to give up a potential 4-star big man for a 2.5-star point guard that might only be around for a couple months, and a draft pick that might not be all that great of a draft pick? And the more I thought about it, the more I kind of thought, I want to hang on to Richardson. Richardson's contract, if you want to look at the contracts, he is guaranteed with us through next season if we keep him. I'm going to look at the contracts really quick for the team. You see Bennett here is through next season. McCleary, I keep saying McCreary. Apologize. McCleary is through next season, and Richardson's through next season. So all three of our big guys, we can have this season, we can have next season, and I don't know if this upcoming draft is going to be a point guard heavy draft, but we could probably, I feel like there's at least a decent possibility we could get a point guard as good as Ben Turner in the draft if we just wait a couple months. And we're probably going to miss the playoffs anyway, with or without Ben Turner. So I think I'm going to keep Richardson maybe even into next season and just see how that plays out. Anybody watching, if you think that's a mistake, then feel free to comment on it. Maybe I'm making a mistake, but I think this is the best course of action, just to keep going as we're going. We're doing better anyway. Since we made the trade for McCleary, we've been playing better, and also getting healthy has been another factor why we're playing better and winning more games. So there's a chance that we could still make the playoffs, and I don't feel good about Ben Turner. He might. I just feel like he might leave. I mean, this just gut feeling that he might leave during the offseason, and then we would have given up a potential 4-star center for that guy who was only around for a couple months, and a draft pick that might not even end up being that good of a player. So that's the decision I've made on that. Interesting trade offer, but I'm going to decline it, and we're going to go ahead and keep simulating here. I don't know how far I'll get. I'm glad I got to do a video tonight. I won't be able to do one tomorrow. I'm just busy. I got work again and tied up. I should be able to do another video on Sunday. So I kind of doubt I'll be able to get to the end of the season by the end of Sunday, but maybe in a couple weeks we'll be at the draft, and I'm excited to see the draft in this year's game, because one of the ads on this game for this year's version is they've updated the draft so that it looks even better than what it did before. I think that's been the strong point of these games. The draft experience on these games is much better than the draft experience you get playing NBA 2K, in my opinion. It feels, it's got a lot more of the draft day feel to it. Maybe that's why it's called draft day sports. Maybe they're just playing off their strength. But I'm excited about next season and the draft. And I don't know. I feel like next season we got a lot of cap space to work with. So I'm gonna stop rambling, and we can just go ahead and start. This first game here is against the Condors, who have, if you remember, Isaiah Cravens, who we traded earlier this season. I'm going to go ahead and look at my depth chart, make sure everything's in place as well as it can be. And it looks like that it is. I think I did this before we ended the last video. And Richardson he's giving us some important minutes here, especially with Bennett out. This is only one game, but yeah, I like, and Turner's not that much better than Lopez. He's like half a star better. So let's go ahead and go. and we won this game. I mean, we're starting to win games, and that's great. And that's another reason why you don't pull the trigger on that trade. I'm gonna look at the box score that we just picked up. Carlos McCleary with 31 points and 16 rebounds, player of the game. Let's go over here and look at the Fortson at 20. Look, everybody in the starting lineup was in double digits. Hill had 12, Bryant had 10, McCleary had 31, Lopez had 22, and Fortson had 26. Sometimes Lopez can have decent games. If you remember last video, there was a game where he had 10 assists and 0 turnovers. So he didn't score a single point, but sometimes you don't have to score a single point. You can still impact the game in positive ways aside from just scoring. And let's go ahead and this next game is against the Knights, one of the best teams in this league. So I don't know if we can pull out a win with this one. Now it looks like we got Richardson out. Hooper's back, but that's not much of a trade-off. All right, that's what I'm run with. Is this right here? The Knights are a 4.5-point favorite. Looks like their leading scorer has got a sore back, but he's probable. So he could still play. Well, we won this game. So it's 4 games in a row we've won. Going back to the last video, and we've won the majority of our last 10 games. And no games this day, so let's simulate. And no games on this day, so we'll simulate again. We're on February the 6th, and no games on this day. Big rest for us. Maybe some people can get, ooh, look at all those trades that just happened. I guess it was the trade deadline, though, right? Tomorrow is the trade deadline, so it's basically we're right at the trade deadline. And we do have a game on this day against the Miami Burn. And we've only got one injury, so for the most part, that's Fortson, though. Okay, so there's just, yeah, we still want to do Bennett here, McCreary there. Spurgeon's back. Everybody but Fortson. Our defense is now above the halfway point in the league, so we're doing quite a bit better than what we were doing. Miami is a favorite here, though, but it is on their home court, so we're 6-4 in our last 10, so we won 4 in a row. Play this game, and we lost this game. More trades going through. I will say one other flaw I've got with this game, with these games. I wish that you had more. I don't know if you have any computer initiated trades to your team. Like, it would be cool if you got an email from another owner from another team offering you a trade rather than you having to go out and search for all the trades yourself. I mean, the way it stands right now, you have to go hunting for trades, and you should get trade offers, I think, from other teams, especially at the trade deadline. Orlando's a favorite here. Looks like Bryant and Fortson are both out. Wait a minute, we do want to start Bennett. Did I just? I think I reversed that in the last game. Bennett is who we want to start. He's the better player of the two overall, even if McCreary is a better scorer. Look at McCreary with 40 points off the bench. Next, we got the hoops coming up. And we still got Fortson and Bryant out. Our defensive rating just keeps climbing, and so does our assist numbers, even though we're still 28th, which is beautiful. Now, Fortson's back, actually, which is great. We got Bryant Hill out. Let's put Bennett in here. Okay. Let's play against the hoops, see who wins. We won by like 24 points. I'm trying to get to March in this video. We got the Dinos. Get through the All-Star break into March. See what we look like. This looks good. We'll give Bryant some playing time. Just gonna put Bennett in right there. We lost that game. Dinos weren't very good either. It was on their home court, but should have made that much difference. Against the Rangers now. Looks like we'll keep the lineups the same. Look at this, 11th in our opponent points per game. So defensively, I'm happy with how we're playing. And offensive seems to be a little bit better than what it was. And we won this game on the road against the Rangers. And now we're here All-Star Weekend. I don't know if I'll be able to capture and see if there's any of our players participating in the slam dunk contest or the three-point shootout, but Okay, I didn't see any of our players with the Outlaws on either of those. I'm curious as to how this is going to play out because this is usually a rookie sophomore thing, and everybody in the league is listed as a rookie. And I don't know, is it just going to be the same as the All Star game? I have no idea. I'm just going to see them through these. I don't think. Yeah, it looks like they have the same players. That's a little weird. I do wish that the game had generated to where everybody wasn't a rookie. That's just weird. Maybe that's a bug, but I'm not sure. I don't remember it being like that when I played last year's version. I want to see if anybody made the All Star team from our team. Fortson is on the All Star team. He had 5 points, which isn't great, but he at least made the team. Uh, Looks like nobody else made the team, but we got one person on there. Well, he has a sore knee for one thing, so he already didn't play a lot of minutes. You see, he's a future stars starter for like the rookie sophomore game. He was also an all-star starter, so he picked up both those awards. Really weird the game did that, but it doesn't really mess it up. I mean, once we get to like year three, uh, it'll be like it. Really don't make much of a difference once you get to year three as far as the rookie sophomore game, and that's only one game out of the year anyway. So, all right, now it's past the All Star break. We're on February 22nd. We are 24-33, playing against the Royals. Let's check the depth chart really quick. Look at this: top 10 in the league in opponent points per game, 20th in the league in points per game. Looks like we're still 11th in the conference. We're still on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoffs. But we knew it was kind of a long shot. You know, looks like Lopez is out this next game. And Shepard. That's all right. Being it playing there looks good, so we'll go with this right here. We're 7-3 in our last 10 games, and we're an 8-point favorite in this game against the Royals. So let's simulate. And we won. Yes, another win. All right. We got the Waves coming up. I'm going to look at the box score of the game before. Steve Bennett with 20 points and 17 rebounds. McCleary with 13 points. Bryant with 10. Forza with 20. And Clint with 23. Spurgeon with 17. You got scoring coming from multiple guys in double digits. So scoring is diverse. No injured players for this next game either. So let's look at our depth chart. We have a completely healthy roster for this next game. Okay. Looks good to me. Looks great to me. Lopez is in. Fortson's in. Against the Waves here. They are a 5.5-point favorite, looks like. We are 8-2 in our last 10 games, which is awesome. We are on the upswing. And we lost this game, but they are a great team. They're 40-19, as you saw there. Uh, Not an easy win to beat them. 3 injured players. I wish you could click this button right here and it would like bring it up and you could like make decisions off this. You know, it's a very small minor thing though. These games are really good overall. I feel like I'm nitpicking to death on these games, but um, being inside again just stinks. I bought this game every year for the past like 6 or 7 years, so I keep coming back because I just like the simulation aspect of it and the draft aspect, and uh, even seems like the issues I have are all minor problems. They don't ruin the game or doesn't make the game broken or all that jazz people throw around on Twitter all the time. Well, this game's broken. This is actually a really good game. All right, we got the Coyotes up next. Uh, we got 5. All of a sudden, we went from having no injured players to 5 injured players. Sheesh. Let's see. We've lost 2 games in a row. So let's see what our roster looks like right now. Kelly's out, Fortson's out, Hooper's out, Bennett's out, Bryant's out. That stinks. Lopez, Shepard, McClinton, Spurgeon, McCleary, and Richardson. I mean, that's what I'll run with. That looks pretty good considering who we have. Anyway, 25 and 35 right now in the first 60 games. So that's like 22 games left in the regular season. And man, all of a sudden, we lost 3 in a row. I was thinking, can we reach the playoffs? Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll go ahead and simulate. It's March 1st, but we'll simulate. We have no games on that date, so. And no games on this day. And here's a game against the Racers. This is where I'm going to stop the simulation for this video. I will set up for the next game, however. We got 2 injured players. Clinton is out with a sprained finger. Bryant is probable with a sore back. Is it still? Yeah, it still suggests I play Bryant even with a sore back. Well, actually, it's got 0 minutes on him, so he probably won't play. But it doesn't have him here near the bottom. Most of the games, I think, to this point so far with the injuries has had him at the main bottom. So that's, I mean, I don't know if that's interesting or not, but there's something I noted in my head there. We got Lopez, Fortson, Shepard, Spurgeon, Bennett, and McCleary all available. Also Richardson and Heel and Aguilera. Uh, not a bad lineup. We've had much worse. Wish McClinton was playing, but the one good thing about Shepard, if you remember when I signed this guy, he's an 84 in outside shooting. He only averages 3 points a game, though. 10 minutes a game. He started 3 games. His 3-point percentage is 38, so he is a good shooter. I'll try to keep in mind and see how he does as a starter in this next game. I've always found that interesting. If you have a player who doesn't get a lot of minutes, when they get an opportunity to start and have more minutes, how are they going to respond to having more time on the court? That's always been, I don't know, something interesting to me. If you have a player that's playing that usually doesn't play a lot of minutes. Anyway, we're going to end the video here. We're in March. Before I turn this off, let's go to the standings and look real quick and just see what the playoff picture looks like. But we're still on the outside looking in. We're still 8 games behind the Denver Peaks. So they're 8 wins behind them. So still a long shot. I thought maybe we were winning games. We lost 3 in a row now. So I thought maybe, but and I'm curious about down here at the bottom. And it looks like oh man, the Gears have lost 7 in a row, which makes that pick we could have gotten earlier better. So maybe it was a mistake. Because now it's looking like they're only 2 wins behind. I mean, they could still bump their way up into the playoffs to where they wouldn't be a lottery pick. But it is what it is now. We've already made that decision, and I still think we didn't make a terrible decision on that. It's good to have Richardson around for another year. And that's all I've got in this video this time. Let's go back to the dashboard real quick. And that's all I've got. So if you like these videos, hit like and subscribe. Keep coming back. And we'll see you next time.